Hey softball players, let's go over one major tip that you can use in your throwing routine, and coaches you can use with your entire team. It's going to make your throwing a lot better, and it's super duper simple. So one of the reasons a lot of softball players have a low elbow, where their elbow gets in front of their body and they end up releasing like this instead of having it lay back and come up over top. One of the reasons that happens is because we don't use our hips and our core very well. So I see lots of softball players who they get very little rotation from their center, and so their arm has to kind of jump in front to do the job. I went to the Dominican Republic and I watched a lot of the young baseball players there at the academies, and you see it from top to bottom, from ages 6 all the way up. All those kids throw really well. They have really good throwing mechanics, and these are young baseball players. And you ask yourself, they don't have a lot of resources, they don't have all these crazy drills, they don't have all this stuff, but what they do is they throw a ton. And one of the commonalities between all the players was they always moved their feet. So not always, all right? If they're doing a drill or they're doing something specific, they're not moving their feet so much. But when they touched a ball, this is what you always saw. Instead of this, like a lot of American boys and girls do, it was this. So what they did is they're always moving their feet. They were always moving it just because that's how they would do it in a game. They'd grab the ball, they'd scoop it up, and they'd move their feet. And just by doing that, I think that's the common denominator, where if you're always moving your feet, guess what? The lower half has to get involved. The core is going to move more. The entire body is going to get involved in the throw. And now when the entire body's involved, the elbow is not going to want to jump in front. It's going to kind of stay in its own place in the train of all the different body parts, where the lower half strides and then the hips start to rotate and transfer power, then the core keeps going, the shoulder goes back, and then it comes forward. You want every part in that sequence to have its proper, its proper amount of momentum and energy, and then to transfer it to the next. That's pretty much the goal. So you should never touch a ball without having a purpose. Whether that's a throwing drill, whether that's just I'm practicing my footwork, whether it's my outfield footwork, whether for catchers, it's working on your pop times. But if you just did one thing to make your entire team or your own personal throwing routine better, it's never throw a ball that's not a drill, or it's not from I'm moving my feet like I'm in a game. I'm going to get momentum, even though my partner's 30 feet away. I'm going to act like I scoop this up, and I'm going to gain some ground. And I'm going to get my whole body involved. I'm going to throw it like I would in a game. Your mechanics will start to organize themselves on their own. Your body knows how to do things, right? You don't have to teach people how to jump. You just say, hey, touch that, and they jump, right? If you get your body moving, your throwing mechanics will start to improve just on its own. And every mile per hour of momentum, I'm moving towards my throw, that's a mile per hour velocity when it leaves your hand. So that's another added benefit. If you want to throw 2 miles per hour harder, get your body going 2 miles per hour faster towards your target. All right, so this is a quick tip, but it's a big tip. Move your feet, be athletic, shuffle, crow hop, do your steps on every single throw, even in pregame.